I tell young people, particularly when you go to parties, young people, I'm not saying don't go to parties. If you have to go to parties, go to the parties of the people you know directly. Not the party of a friend of a friend of a friend. You never can be sure. You saw that girl, they slipped something to her drink. And that is what is happening today. It's happening today. Maybe I'll come to some of those things before I finish. So that's the video. Can you play it?
And he said something about sending a laptop for 100 naira.
Then you see, I'm going to box 3 stories into one really fast. During COVID, I had a lot of webinars, like practically like 5, 6, 7 webinars per day. And I told a group of parents that look, any present that comes to your home, receive it before you let your child in, because a lot is happening out there. And one lady received throw pillows for a 16-year-old daughter who just turned 16. So another friend sent it to the house. And she said, oh, Dr. May, during one of our webinars, said, any present that comes, receive it. So she took the throw pillow and she opened it. Do you know what was happening? Do you know what fell out from that throw pillow? Wraps of marijuana.
Who sent the throw pillow?
A friend.
Sent it to who?
To this girl on her birthday.
How old was this girl?
16, she just turned 16.
Wow.
And so the mother said, this is exactly what this woman has been talking to us about. So receiving that, we've seen people who bought phones directly to another house and changed the content of the phone and loaded it in cookies that had marijuana and sent it.
But I don't know that I heard you can order those.
Yes, you can order. So there are people that are doing it now as business. So you have to be very careful what you do. And so you find out that you, the parents, please, parents, I'm talking about us, parents. And parents, you must not necessarily have your own children. You are parenting somebody somewhere. You have to be very vigilant. You have to go back to intentional parenting. Who is your child speaking with? Where is your child going to? How much is your child interacting with the people in the family? If you usually have breakfast or dinner together, why is your child in the room these days? Find out what your child is doing. If you think your child is doing something, your child is doing something. Your instinct most times never fails you. Send your child out. Search the room. If your child is now using perfume more than before, why? If your child is always licking sweet and tongue or any of this sweet that has flavor or whatever, menthol, why? Make sure you do pay attention. The world here is changed because a lot of the kids are doing, like crystal meth, it's colorless, it's odorless. So because marijuana has the odor, no, it's you find that things are missing in your house. Why? I've seen a child who gave 400 naira, like 1,000 laptop to somebody for a wrap of marijuana, which was just 100 naira. Because not just mentally to your children. Stop listening to respond. Listen to understand their point of pain so that you can use your wisdom and experience to nurture them.
Thank you so much.
That's just, because if I speak about these things and you don't see the picture, it looks like story. It will play another video. This one happened in Abuja. You will see it now. Leadership. I'm sorry. Next slide. This one. I'm sure you will find it. It should be of that presentation.
drug is sweeping through America right now. Eerie footage coming out of Philadelphia shows crowds of people slashed over but still standing. The insane part is that this is a common scene in almost every major city in America. They look like they are conscious, but not at the same time. The drug they are on is clozapine, or more commonly known as Trent. It is known to plunge people into a zombie-like state where they are unable to move and seem to lose all awareness. People using the drug are put into a complete trance and can be seen walking around like an animal. The drug causes infections of the limbs, which may commonly result in amputations. It has been described as being so addictive that even a single accidental hit of it could get you hooked. Trent is now in about 90% of Philadelphia's drug supply and can be commonly found in low-income areas of almost all U.S. cities. You can walk downtown right now and most likely...
No, that's right. Don't bother about the next one. You know, if you think that's in America, at Kensington area in Philadelphia. The one I wanted to show was one made in Abuja. So you know that these things don't happen abroad, they happen here. I can tell you that if you look very closely in FESTAC, if you walk around, you see people who walk like that. They are taking Coros, or they are taking Arizona, or Loud. You know, I'll be very careful to talk about this drug because I don't want young people to leave me and begin to go and experiment. But one thing I want you to know is this. That drug that is called Trent is a combination. There's a drug given in hospital called fentanyl. It's a synthetic opioid used to treat severe pain. The Chinese found out that was powerful. If you take fentanyl, it's 100 times more potent than that is a horse anesthetic, something that they used to put horses to sleep. So that's why they combine it and then people are using it. And what many of you don't know, when they come to me, they say I'm using weed. Many of the times you don't know what you are using. They don't even have a clue. Because there is normal marijuana, there is synthetic marijuana. Many of the ones that synthetic marijuana, there's a combination of marijuana and chemicals and herbs. That's why you see people. Do you know that people die from that condition one time? If you come to around shrine in Ikeja, when you see somebody standing waiting for bus, he's sleeping and he's standing. The different posture you see there is normal posture you see them in. It's not as if anybody put them in. But anyway, let me leave that and then. You know, I think my two colleagues are talking about this. For you young people, somebody who says, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, those are dreams, those are good things. But if you are not careful, let me give you an example. If I said to you that, excuse me, I have to rush to Ikeja. I have to go to Ikeja, or at least Ikeja must be there. Can I go to Ikeja? It's not likely. But if I say to you that, oh, I'm going to Ikeja, please, I'm good. It's likely that I can, but I may not get to Ikeja. Do you know why? If I get outside and I see Okada people fighting, and policemen come with guns, and I begin to watch, am I going to Ikeja? No. This is it, distraction. One moment of distraction can destroy your dream. One moment. I've seen somebody brought to me who took marijuana only once. A graduate, he was serving at NACO in Ikeja. He went with his friend to have lunch. And they gave it to him, he took it, and that was it. He went to serve. 25-year-old. He's gone. He will leave, but he has to be treated for life. You know, young people, don't joke with this thing. Don't even try it. Let nobody deceive you to try it. Once might just be enough. I wish I could show you some other videos. Look, these are some of the problems. You can have pebbles, pothole, pipe. Because what does this mean? All of these things can take away your dream. And it doesn't take too long. Next slide. Because I'm going to show you now the Nigerian situation. In 2017, the UNODC, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, they did a global survey of prevalence rate of use of drugs across the world. In 2018 early, they published the result. That is the only result still relevant to today. None again has been done. They found out that the global prevalence rate of use is 5.6. Nigerians own is 14.4. That is almost triple global average. And not only that, they now found out that that 14.4 translates to about 15 million Nigerians who had used drugs the previous year. And so let me now show you the significance of those figures. Because the Gambia has a population of 2 million. Guinea-Bissau has a population of 2 million. The total of those foreign countries, what do they come to? 30 million. But the drug users in Nigeria are 15 million. What that means is that if you gather the drug users in Nigeria, they will form a country. And that is significant. We look at the figures and just laugh. But imagine a country, there are 15 million and they all use drugs. That is what we have. And that was 2018. By 2020, when Mr. Oliver Storr, the director of NOCC, spoke, he said they had gone to about 20 to 25 million. That is 2020. This is 2024. Can I tell you something? They found out that out of every 4 users in Nigeria, 1 is a female. And I tell you something today, and I tell you for free. If you see many of these undergraduate young girls, you'll be shocked at the drug they carry. And let me shock you with this story. Pastor Deyemi of the Redeemed Church invited me to speak in camp about 3 months ago, Redemption Camp, to students who are Christian leaders across Nigeria, students. So they put me in the hall and spoke. They now put me in a room to see people who would like to consult with me. When I finished, at least 40 of them came to see me. As one girl entered to see me, I knew she was jonesing. She was shaking and it was hot. She wore cardigan. She was 20-year-old, part 2 student, Christian leader in the university. So she sat by me, so I hugged her. I knew she needed help. I said, what is it? She broke down. She said, I need help. I said, what can I do? The book she held, like this, my notebook, she opened it, she gave me 2 sachets of colors on camp. If I didn't come to give that talk, she would take those 2. I collected them, then I gave them to the pastors there. I said, look, there's nothing I can do for you here. I can hand over to the pastors. And that was what I did. Many of them like that. They were undergraduates, they were universities or higher institutions. So when I'm talking to you people, please listen. That girl is a part 2. I have seen somebody brought to me from medical school in Ibadan. Part 5, she was hooked on codeine. She never finished. So when you are lucky that Mrs. Carol Yusuf is telling you now, this is the time to get serious. And you know the interesting thing, they found that the highest rate of use of drugs in Nigeria was in the southwest. And then when they broke down the states in the southwest, Lagos State has the highest rate in this country, 33% of drug use in Lagos State. Next slide. So, why do people use drugs? Because I'm trying to, why do they use drugs? Many times for experimental purposes. Some of their friends tell them, oh, if you take it, it will let you dance very well. Or if you take it, it will let you read, it will let you sleep. All those things are not true. You know what I want you to know? Anything that is not common across the range of people is perception. It is not true. So that's why we must be careful. Let nobody deceive you and tell you stories. Dysfunctional family situation. Nigeria today, particularly Christendom, is destroyed by that. You know one thing that is funny about church don't listen. When I began to talk about 32 years ago, I would go to pastor. Please let me come and talk to them. They say, let's see this, I don't know. We have a pastor that is coming. He's coming to church on the Holy Spirit. They will do anointing. I say, Today, I hardly go to my church. Every Sunday I'm in one church talking. It's almost too late. Many of our pastors' children are doing drugs. We set up a center in Abeokuta for treatment of undergraduates, graduates, workers, and professionals. And since 2019, we set it up. We saw about 75 doctors, architects, nurses, and lawyers. About 45 of them were students of Nigerian universities, Christian universities. Out of those 45, about 30 of them are children of pastors. And you know the sad thing, they did not believe in God. So when I talk to them, they say, what about children where we bring well with the way of the Lord? I say, tell me how. Because you take them to church. Sorry, that's not how to bring people up in the way of the Lord. We're not role models for our children. The pastors are never there. The husband is the pastor, the wife is the pastor. I have asked them, who ordained both of them? Husband can be, but there must be someone at home who stays with these children. When you don't stay with them, the driver stays with them, the gardener stays with them. All those people are the people who teach them to use drugs. When I went to the Christian university, I told them, you can preach all you like about Bible. Have you checked the people who work in your canteen? That the people bring into school, the gardeners are not those things. Anyway, and I'm telling the church now, again when I told them a few years ago, watch out for Yahoo. They say, today there's no street in Lagos where there's no bet Naija. Young people, small children, they are betting. And we are watching. I went to talk at Inspiration Station, I can't remember which station now. I think it's FM, whatever. After talking, a man called him. He said he would not mention his name or his church. It was a Monday. He said yesterday, Sunday, because he teaches the young people. He said yesterday, Sunday, he saw dealers within the church premises dealing with their teenagers. They were selling, buying drugs in the church premises. He said it, it's not me that said it. I tell you today, if we don't begin to talk about family now, we're going to lose our children. Listen, Yusuf can bring us here and talk about drugs. They will leave here and go back home. Which home do they go to? A home that the father is not there. A home that the mother does not have time. A home that we don't even have time for our children. Escape from reality. You think these children don't have issues? They have. But who listens to them? Nobody does. They brought one young boy to me from Calabar, he's 17-year-old. The mother is the medical doctor of the medical hospital, of the teaching hospital. The father is professor. So when they were coming, I was looking at them, it was attachment, office name. So as they were looked at when you could see anger in his face. So when they sat down, the mother said, doctor, they said that he's coming, we are from Calabar. I said, what's the problem? He said, it's about this my son. The boy said, who is your son? Who is your son? It's not that I'm your son. When did I become your son? That when I want to have a time with you, you are busy. My dad is also doing it. So, hey, then I found my friend. Now you are bringing me here. But the good story is, he became an engineer today. But not many children can be that lucky. So that's why we must wake up. We must credit people like Mrs. Yusuf, who is laboring over these young people. We don't know what today will mean in their lives. We may think it's just an event. It is not just an event for some of them. It may be a life-changing experience that we must always salute. 1 out of 10, and we multiply like that, we make a multitude. Easy availability and affordability. There is no street of Lagos where they don't sell drugs. Not one street. How many of you have seen all those things they sell in sachet? I wish I had brought some of them to show you. All those they call it pelebe or whatever. All the sachet drinks. Do you know that there is not one of them that does not have alcohol? You know AGLOW bitters? AGLOW bitters has 42% alcohol. 42. ADOKUN has 42. Action bitters has 40%. Like that. And you know what they have done? They did it in sachet. So if you can't buy the bottle, you can buy the sachet. The sachet used to be 20 naira, it's now 15 naira. When now that banned it, you know who the people fighting? House of Red. They said, no, you can't ban. Oh, you can't ban. You know why they are banning it? So that they make it available to everybody. Go to any motor park. Go to every house around you. You know even there are some people in church who sell those things. And so when I joined the church in Abuja, they said to me, those students said to me, why should I not take my father takes? Why should I not take if they sell in my house and there are children? Peer pressure. I'm still going to talk about that. Low self-esteem. Excuse me. That is one killing factor amongst our children. Low self-esteem. I'll take it in the next slide. Ignorance. What do I mean by ignorance? You know that today you can't eat any food and say it's innocent. You cannot. In the universities today, people put cannabis in beans. They used to cook rice. They used to do pepper soup. They put it in drinks. They put in all those kind of things. So you cannot go so and say you are ignorant of what is happening. Poor role modeling. Where are the role models? They are no more there. Next slide. You know why I want to touch on this? This is so crucial for young people. This is a gentleman. There's three psychological components of a human person. The first one is called EID. It is genetic. You have no control over it. There's nothing you can do about it. There are characteristics you get from your parents and from them. The next one is called ego. When I say ego, I don't mean pride or arrogance. This is an internally determined characteristic, and it is you that can do it. And you know what it means? It is essence of you. Who are you? Many of our people today don't know who they are. There are people in top position who don't know who they are. That's why you say, and then you say, don't you know who I am? My name is Alhaji Chief Doctor. That's not your name. And those are some of the things today. The third one is called super ego. The super ego is external. It usually speaks to your friends, your family, the things that are external to you. Do you know this one is supposed to be supportive and protecting, or it destroys? Because many of the people here who control you don't have this. When the father wants his son to read medicine, without knowing the capability of the boy, he's destroying him. Next slide. So what are the implications? I think this is where I'm likely to stop, so there can be time for questions. Implications for drug use. Blighted. Hello. Please, we're here because of you. I can be in my house. Please let us listen. You may not have this opportunity again. Blighted future. Dreams are aborted or destroyed. I want to be a lawyer. How many of you have been to Akala before? Who knows Akala? Oh, okay. Too many people don't know Akala. Akala is in Mushin. There is no house in Akala that is not in joint. Policemen cannot enter the uniform. It's a dreaded place. And you know that generations of people live in that place. That is where the first place I saw an 8-year-old using drugs. 8. Because the father lived there, the mother lived there, he was born there. Last year they invited me to Gomosho to come and help them start the rehab center. Then they brought some boys to be 4, 10-year-old drugs. 10. That's why you cannot afford to be careless. You can't. Wasted lives. One day I went to Shita to go and talk. As I was leaving, somebody hailed me. As Bessie called me, I knew that was a name for me. So when I told him, those you can't remember me, he read law in Ife. He lives in the joint. He was living there. I have seen a medical doctor at Akala. He finished 10 years ago, he never practiced. He still lives in Akala. A medical doctor, graduated from Lasso. Drug overdose. I'm sure you've heard of these young people, the musician, they say 23-year-old, he slept and died. Or he died in a hotel room. That is what is happening, it's overdose. Sometimes they sit in their cars, they put it in the AC vent, and in the process they take overdose. Poor educational development. If you see any young man, a student, doing well, and the grades begin to drop, there's something wrong. Interrogate it. Inclination towards criminal activities. There are no who rape, who kidnap, who do all those kind of, who steal, and all those kind of things. Sometimes, today, if you go to Yaba, no, in Aro, there is a ward for undergraduates of a Christian university. They left the ward for them. The ward is always full. If you go to Yaba today, you'll be amazed at the number of young people you will see there. They are not mad though, it's drugs. Some of them they go mad. Some do. Depression, the rate of depression, the rate of suicide, this is increasing amongst young people. They are the political tools that politicians use to campaign. Have you not noticed that when the politicians are campaigning, they don't bring their own children? They go and bring them from joints, give them all kinds of drugs. It pains me that the woman from Assembly has gone. Till today has never replied me. And I've told them, they just sit down there. They will use those boys to get to their constituency, they will never return. Go to Agege where he comes from. You'll be shocked at the level of drug use around Penn Cinema. But that's the danger we have today. People are in authority, they don't give a damn about you. You may be deceiving yourself that this is not true. They will never do anything about drugs, I guarantee you. If not because of Mara that is doing all he's doing. Number one, Mara will never have enough money. He will never have enough things to use because they know. Because the moment these people reduce, their clients reduce. Next slide, let's see. I think this should be the. Oh, okay. So what should you do? I think I will end with this. So what should you do, young people? Be acutely aware of this existing danger. It is there. It might be your friend, it might be your classmate. There's a secondary school in Kenya. I won't mention it. They brought their students, 13-year-old. They were doing drugs and they said it in schools. I went to a Christian university. As I was talking, one boy sent me a message. He said, please don't tell the VC my name, but tell them to go to the postgraduate hall of the university. They went into the ceiling. What they brought out, you can't believe it. Students said this, they bring it to school. Do not get involved under any guise. Let nobody deceive you. Anything that you cannot do yourself, nothing can make you do it. Don't believe it. Remain focused. I think we kept talking about focus. Focus is the only thing that can keep you away. If you are not focused, you will do anything. And it starts from little things. When they started, oh, let us go and play ball when you should be doing your assignment. That's how it starts. Any area of recreation in Lagos, where you see men playing football, they're doing drugs. They're doing drugs. Resist falling prey to peer pressure. You will always meet it. And I can't remember who said amongst my colleagues, look, the Bible tells me we are fearfully and wonderfully made. I don't care the way you look. That is the way God wants you to look because He has a plan for that. Seek to know God. Seek to know God. Personal relationship with God. Please interrogate every food item they give to you. You don't have to eat them. I said to young people, if you are going to birthday party or whatever, Eat and drink in your house before you go. Nothing is innocent. Nothing, I tell you, nothing. Make good choices of friends. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you.